Describe what you see.
I see white buildings that look almost like with round ceilings and spires. And there's water, beautiful water in pools everywhere. It's all white. But then there's green grass that I'm just standing on.
Wonderful. And these buildings, are they attached to the ground? Do they go all the way to the ground?
So, yeah, some of them have got clear crystal under them. And, okay, so, yeah, some of them are just like clouds or etheric under them. So they're not all attached to the ground, no.
Okay. And these buildings, what do they look like they are made out of?
At first it looked like marble but again, it's a crystal. It's like a crystal.
And do they all look the same color of crystal?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. And how tall are these buildings?
They're really tall, but they're not like a skyscraper. They're like a beautiful building that's got pillars around them with this dome and a spire. And they've got beautiful, the ceilings go all the way up to the dome when you're inside them. And there's like colours, beautiful colours coming through. And there's a lot of purple and reds. It's beautiful.
That's wonderful. And are you inside the buildings or are you outside?
I'm inside now.
Okay. And as you're in there inside, what do you see around you?
There's a sense or a feeling of like there's portals within these buildings. So it sort of can change depending on what vibration or frequency that you're at or that you want to be at.
Okay.
So that, it's changeable.
So the higher the frequency, the higher the chances of seeing the portals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And you can step into them.
What happens when you step into them?
It's like you're on a speedboat and you just going through these portals and they can bring you out to wherever you want. So I've just come through one and I'm on a beautiful island.
Tell me more.
It's really beautiful sand and the water's really warm and it's quite green water. And there's lots of little islands around it. It feels like a holiday place.
How do you arrive there? Like when you arrive there from the portal, where do you end up?
I just tumbled out onto the beach. And there's when I turn around and look back into the forest and the jungle, it's like there's like massive crystals, but they're actually like more portals. They hold a really deep, high frequency. It's like a purple.
Okay, so you can see them. You can see them in a different color.
Yeah.
So okay, so let me try to understand this. The crystal itself is it clear, but it has like a color around it, or is it the purple inside the crystal?
It's actually the vibration that you see coming through the crystal like it's split open, but that's just because you're seeing the actual vibration and frequency of that crystal.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, it's like they're all linked. It's like they follow energy lines and they're all linked.
Okay. And you said they're throughout the jungle, so like they're in between trees and forest, or
Yeah, but yes, but they become like a like one link, one train line almost. It's yeah, it's really interesting.
mm. Okay.
It's a very beautiful healing type of energy. And so when
Wonderful.
I actually touch them,
Mm-hmm.
it's like this energy just pours over me.
And what does it do to your body?
It helps to release anything that is not needed anymore. It takes me back to that perfect state of void.
Mm. That's wonderful. So as it clears your body, do you start seeing more things? Or you, if your frequency is rising because it's getting healed, your body's getting healed, does that mean that more appears in front of you?
Yeah, it's like within that I've come up under the water and all the ripples are going out from where my face comes up. I'm lying on I'm floating. So it's like the different realms are being expanded.
Mm. Okay. Where are these realms located?
They're just in other dimensions.
Mm. Okay. So as
It's
you're,
almost, yeah, it's like it's in space, but it's like I'm encased in this crystal now, but it's all just this one space. Yeah.
okay. So are you still on the water?
No,
Okay. Where are you now?
it's like I'm just in the middle of the universe.
Okay. So you're in, it looks like space.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you floating there?
Yeah.
So as you're floating there, I want you to pay attention to your body. And I want you to tell me if you feel like you have a physical body.
It's just tingling and light.
Okay. So are you your own consciousness, your own awareness? Or do
Yes.
you
Yeah.
feel okay?
I'm actually getting quite emotional. It's like it's like it's just like sensing everything and yet just being this, yeah, this light.
Mm-hmm. So you feel like you're light.
Yes.
Okay. And as you're light in this space, does it feel like you are in this galaxy of Earth?
No,
Okay.
I'm somewhere else.
Okay. And in this somewhere else, what is the space that it sits in, or that it is in? What does that look like? In other words, is it space with stars around it, or is it a different type of space?
Yeah, it. I can sense and see like planets. It's and lots of different. It's like shapes. It's like moving shapes,
Okay.
like a spirals that are spinning.
Mm. Okay. So spirals. Do you see any other type of shape?
There's lots of spirals. There's lots of us. I'm a spiral.
Okay. You're a spiral.
Mm.
Wonderful. And what do you think your shape represents? Why? What does it do? What? Is there anything specific or special about being a spiral?
It moves. It moves light and frequency,
Okay.
and it can join up with other spirals.
Mm-hmm. And what does that do?
That can we create this beautiful, massive energy vortex. So we give and create energy for wherever it needs to go.
Mm. Okay. And do you get together? Do you connect because someone or something tells you to do so, or is it organic where it just
It's
happens?
Yeah, it's so organic.
Okay.
It's yeah. We just know.
Mm. Okay. And
It's
who?
like the
Yeah.
pink. There's pink and all sorts of different beautiful colors that go through into this. It's like a big pipeline of energy.
Mm. Who or what uses you as energy, your energy?
It's like part of a system. So it's used wherever it's needed
Mm.
for anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It can go to like one area to create something, or it can go somewhere to help, or it can do anything.
Okay. So somehow you know that you're needed wherever it is that you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we on Earth wanted to use you, we just summon you?
It goes through a system. It goes through a yes, it's like the greatest need for the energy. That's where it goes.
Hmm. Okay. Do you, when you get together with others, do you create specific shapes to make it more powerful?
Yeah, we can actually. We're just doing that. We're going into like a massive ball, and we've got it's like two rings that cross. So it's like a ball with two rings around it that cross at each end of the ball, each top and sphere of the ball. And we can actually see through other levels what is needed. So when we come together, we can actually form shape.
Okay. So do some shapes have more energy than others?
No, it just builds and builds into this one shape. It's like a big pool, adding more water in. And that's in this one particular place. And then what happens to it is it can go through then into a whole nother section and then explode back into tiny pieces.
Hmm. Okay.
It's like it's traveling together almost. That's what it feels like.
You mean all the different shapes are traveling together.
So all the spirals come
The
into this one
spirals.
shape, into a massive ball.
Right.
And then once that goes through into this whole other area, that's how the traveling happens. And then it like explodes and it becomes just lots and lots and lots of different tiny bits of light.
Ah, okay. I was assuming it was spirals. So,
Yeah.
okay. So light, bits of light. Okay.
Yeah. So it breaks into different bits of light.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the ball was. So the ball becomes that in this whole different dimension and whole different galaxy.
Mm-hmm. 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 So what happens next as a spiral? What happens next?
Well, as this aspect of light, the vibration then comes down into form so we can become form. So like on Earth, we go into the human form or into a rock form or into whatever it is where that aspect is needed.
Okay. So there's some type of innate calling for something that is needed then. Somehow it's known that there is a need for that.
It's a vibration. It's like the ripples that you see on a pond. You know and feel these vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
So you know where it's needed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's no it's not like humans when they talk and discuss. This is just absolute, not just knowing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Pure knowing. So you just go where you're needed.
Yeah.
So once you go where you're needed, what happens next?
It's like the light goes into every aspect of this physicality. It's like a merging, and it becomes like in every aspect of it.
Okay.
So every bit of light that's come through onto this form of planet, it it's separate, but it's not separate. So it all is one because can be merged back into one whenever it's needed.
Okay. So then what specifically happened with you, with your light? Where did you go?
I went into this body because that's the vibration that was pulling me in.
Okay.
And so what I'm doing is actually bringing in more of that light, because that light then responds, the spirals respond to my vibration. So it's like there's a whole energy of us, of it that can do this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you went into the body of Marie.
Yeah.
Okay. And was it when she was a baby or was it later on?
When she was a baby, and then could go in and out. This aspect could go in and out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But the
So
light now is so bright that it helps to have the human form to bring it through.
okay. So then her energy then is Is your it's at your level. It's at your vibration level of whatever density you're in. If you're 12th density or
Yeah, I can work with it from this now.
okay.
There's been a lot of clearing and healing.
Okay. And how does your energy become in her body? Like I'm trying to see it in my mind's eye. Is the energy like in every cell of her body, or is the energy one big giant human shaped energy?
It's like it's in every cell. It's like sparkles. It's like sparkles of light, so
Yes.
bright. So it's like shining out from everywhere. So it looks like it could be separate, but it's not. But that's what it looks like beautiful sparkles of little, like a sparkler. That's what it looks like from within, going all the way out, and that's connecting in to rays of light that are coming through from this source, from this place,
Mm-hmm.
because that frequency is now able to match it. So it's time for that to come through.
Ah, okay. So does that mean that you are considered her higher self?
Yes.
Ah, okay. That's wonderful. I know that she had some questions for you today.
She's done well.
Yes, she has. And now she's going to be even more clear because she will know her purpose. So tell us, what is her purpose here?
She's already doing her purpose. She's walking this earth. She is bringing light through into the grid lines of our beautiful earth. She is raising consciousness. She's helping people heal and see. She had to go through this as the light to be able to understand what it meant for humans to go through their journeys, because otherwise there would have been no connection. So this light now is able to move through her and be more obvious to her consciously. Others can already see it and they have been mentioning it to her. Well, that's nothing compared to what is coming through. But she will be fine with this.
That's beautiful. It sounds like exactly what we need right now in this time.
That's correct.
So is there anything that she should be doing?
Having fun.
Ah,
It's time to play.
it's time to play. That's wonderful.
She can
So,
do whatever she wants to do because it's already happening. She's already doing what it is that she's meant to do here. The more that she stays connected and trusted, the more it will flow through and everything will just come in at the right time for her.
yes, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. So, is that the reason why she has always had this special abilities? Is it because of who she is?
Correct.
Okay, wonderful. And she wanted to know if she's going to meet her soulmate in this life. I'm sure that would make it a lot more fun for her.
Yes, it would. But she's not been ready. She had to accept who she was first.
Ah, okay. Has that happened?
Yes, it has.
Okay, wonderful. Now, she did have a worry about connecting to the angelic realm. There's a fear there, and I guess she wanted to make sure that it was okay to do so.
It was not a fear of connecting with others, the angelic realm. It was a fear of connecting with me, because she knew how powerful, how much light that would involve.
Ah, okay.
She
And
will not have that fear anymore.
okay, good, 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 good. So tell me about her protection. It sounds like she's heavily protected.
She is. She had to experience having other energies go through the physical body and know the difference. She had to go through the experiences she went through to feel the lower vibrations, to really then understand this frequency, this light in an earthly body. She gets that.
Mm-hmm. So, what can you tell us about what's going on right now well, actually, before we move to that, I would like to make sure that after today, she doesn't smoke anymore.
She can choose whenever she wants to not smoke. The more fun she has, the less she smokes.
So, what is the cause of her wanting to smoke?
To be connected
To
to
be
her breath.
Ah.
It helps her connect to me.
Oh.
It helps something in her brain that is actually being completely revamped, rewired with light as we're speaking.
Okay.
So it is her choice then, if she does or she doesn't.
Would breathing exercises do the same?
Yes, she knows to start doing more. She has just started. And this is very good for her.
Because if it's to connect to the breath, that would do the same without getting all the bad stuff from the cigarettes.
The cigarettes don't harm her. There's a chemical within the cigarette that would connect into the brain and help it to open more to the divine aspect. She will not need that anymore. So she will not feel like them as much anymore.
Ah, okay. Okay. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. So it sounds like all the work that she's been doing to clear her past has been working, and that's why she finds herself where she is today with me.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. And why is it that she felt a need to see me unlike some other person?
She felt safe with you. She knew there was something within you that would allow her to move through into this frequency safely.
So it's she recognized some type of energy or something else?
Yes, it's a knowing. It's a vibration. And it simply is who you are. There was no question. It had to be done with you, and this is why you're here, is to help the ones that need to really come into their true frequency, to help them do it safely and in a way that is quicker than otherwise what it might take.
Yes. Although I would like to be able to develop that so I could wake up more people instead of one person at a time, but I haven't been able to figure something like that out.
You have to trust that you're doing exactly as you're meant to do. For when you touch one person, remember that ripple effect. They go out and they touch many. So sometimes your job is simply to be the place of respite, the place where it happens. When it is time, then it will be easier for you, for your frequency will be something that you are awakened to fully, and then it will just be what it is meant to be. You are perfectly where you are meant to be.
I understand. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So I will continue to do it the way that I'm doing it.
Correct. It is perfect.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, as Marie was this spiral, um, ultimately, where did the spiral come from? How was it created? How did
Through
she?
pure source.
Okay. Just straight from source then.
Correct.
I see. So, does that mean that we've been told that angels are the closest thing to source? Um, so, would the spiral be just another uh, representation of an energy that is coming from source, just like an angel, or is it different?
That is one way of perceiving it. It is all around an expression through frequency, through light, through codes that then has its own consciousness to create. So everything is completely unique as an expression of coming from that oneness.
Yes.
So this can be then expressed in many ways, in many places that have formed from that same source. So that is why everything is connected.
Yes. Yeah.
So the flash, the light, the codes, the sound, the vibration, the frequency that is direct source through source then becomes whatever it chooses to experience. It can be colors, frequencies, matter, non-matter, light, vibration, form, and every aspect of that can then explode into its own aspect of that to experience wherever, whenever, whatever it chooses to.
Mm-hmm.
It has the ability to form, reform back into aspects of that self when it is needed, when a vibration calls it or it chooses to create. Any aspects of the vibration and frequency come back in to create that next form.
Okay.
So it's like you have different scenes in movies, and then at the end, all the scenes come together and it describes everything that's happened in that one moment and creates an outcome is probably the way to explain it in human terms.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay.
And the energy that was created in each scene is brought in to that final chapter, that final scene, as one.
Got it. Okay. So really there could be unlimited infinity numbers of things that coming out from source.
Correct.
How many other lives does she have now?
Multiple.
Okay.
Multiple. Because as we were explaining, that light explodes
Mm-hmm.
and has many, many different callings, experiences, creating infinite. The beauty of human is that one focus is here and now, whereas many other experiences are timeless, interdimensional, fast, what we would call fast. So on Earth, it feels slower. This is why it is so much harder for light beings that are human to connect to the light until there is that same plane of being able to experience it. And that is what is happening on Earth now. With the Earth's rising in frequency, it is allowing that true understanding and reconnection to that spiral of light within the human form. So the reason why Marie has always wanted to go home was to actually remember that light, to feel that light.
Is it possible to feel that light and that love as a human?
Yes, it is.
Mm.
She is feeling it now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
This
So
is
it's
why it's so important to
mm-hmm.
connect in to our light, to our creator self, to our aspect of light. And it will be easier for her now. She's always seen the light within her. Now it will just be like sparkles coming off her fingertips. And it will remind her that she's already home. She's brought home with her.
That's wonderful. So is she also other sparks of light like Marie and on Earth right now at this time?
Yes, there are many that are. As we explode, we intermingle anyway. There
Mm.
is no separation. Only in our human form, our human mind, our human linear time, do we have that sense of separation. That is part of this creation. The joy of reconnecting through the light, understanding, knowing this, feeling this with everyone is the great joy of remembering.
I see. So it's probably part of the lessons that we're learning here.
Yes, it's learning to create without knowing the light within us. And that can be a struggle.
Yes. Yes. So how do we create reality, a collective reality of what's happening on Earth right now? So those of us that are light, that were uh, kind of going along our path, and all of a sudden all this stuff starts happening. how can a reality that we did not know existed become part of our reality?
As that frequency and the connection of the light grows, it's an automatic reconnection. It's like fitting a key into a lock. That then creates a whole new energy and frequency with which we can create matter. It's the same story. It's the same reality of how everything is created. So once that vibration and frequency is interlocked, interconnected, then that higher experience of frequency can be had in an earthly way.
Okay. But what if my question is more centered around the existing reality that's happening on Earth right now, where it's um it's a low vibrational I don't want to say it's a low vibrational thing that's happening, but it's a vibration that is not a happy vibration. So how do how do we together consciously create this reality that's happening on Earth right now?
The joining of light creates like a safety raft for people to climb aboard if they choose to. There are many, many different interdimensional multiple Earths. So this is simply one experience of that.
Mm.
So this is the choice of an experience for that particular divine spark to have. So it is like this frequency of light that is absolutely being activated through Earth, through the grid lines, through the energy points, is also helping to activate those same points within the human divine aspect of the beings. They then choose what it is they want to create and experience. So there is no right or wrong. It is simply a quickening of a creation from slow human linear time to a higher frequency timeline. So the joy, again, is in seeing the change, watching the jump, like when you reconnect back in with another light spark in human form, that joy, it's the same feeling of the creation that's happening on a usually slow timeline that is happening very quickly. It's that joy of creating.
Mm. I see. So if we're really one and we're all one,
Yes.
is this really happening, or is it really only happening in our minds, but it's not real?
What is real? What is not real? Does it matter? What if it's just an experience? We are creators. We can create it however we choose to.
Yeah. It's just that when you grow up being told something, it's it's very difficult to uh, realize that it's, I don't want to say it's all lies, but that it's not what you ex- expected. It's not what you thought it was. It's something completely different.
Correct. And therein lies the joy of the remembering, the
Mm.
knowing the aha moment, that is when more frequency and light comes through and is created. It's like the spark within the neurons of the brain that can change in an instant when there is more frequency and light within there.
So is that why Maria and I we were talking about this, that it feels like little bits and pieces get opened up?
Yes, correct. If it happened all at once, where would be the fun and the joy in that? So it is a journey. It is a journey on earth of linear, slower time.
And that's why we're here, is to also probably experience that, since we don't know what that feels like in the when we're light.
Correct. This is purely an experience.
So, this is very hard to explain to people that have been sexually abused, that have been raped by their father or their sister or their brother, or, as children, as babies. How would you explain this to someone that's gone through something like that?
This is their journey on that linear experience. As a spark of light, we know which vibration is calling us in, and for what reason and what creation. So again, it is the increase in light and vibration from the dark becomes the most light. So it is in those moments of darkness that we call for help, we call for light. That is a moment of creation. And until someone is ready, until that light is ready to know itself, then that will just continue as a journey, a dream, a living. That aha moment is the most beautiful, explosive joy of love they will ever experience. And done in human form, it is the most powerful because of the non-light, the low density, the low vibration, which is opposite to where we have come from. So experiencing that, and then when that aha comes through, the release, the creation of love through the heart is so powerful, it can create universes. So it is really up to when that particular aspect of light is ready and to create and to know, to remember.
So you're saying it's so we're going through that experience um so that we even have a bigger moment, aha moment, or that joy moment when we realize who we are. And
correct. And whether it's when we're in physical form or when we return to light, there's still that moment of creation. There's still that moment of light explosion.
I see. Okay.
It's like a form of ecstasy.
Okay. Does it ever happen that doesn't actually happen, where the person ends up passing away, the physical body dies, and that experience was not achieved?
There is always a sense of peace, of coming back into a certain aspect of the light with the release from the human form. However, the light then may choose to come through and experience in a different way, simply for the experience of it. And it is pure intelligence of the light that knows exactly when, how, what, and why it will choose to experience the awakening. It is always perfect. Even though it may feel very difficult, very, very traumatizing to the physical being, the emotional aspect, the mental aspect of the physical being. It is in fact actually an aspect of allowing the opportunity for that light to grow, to expand, to create with, until that explosion of light. And they come back for more because it is so incredibly enlightening.
Okay.
And this is where true compassion comes in.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I think, to me, compassion comes in when we understand that you cannot have the good without the bad, because without the bad, there would be no learning experience. So we have to
Correct.
have the bad.
How long we actually choose then or be in the bad depends on where our light aspect is at within the human form within itself. It may be a moment, it may be 10 lifetimes. It's purely where that aspect of light is at and the vibration that is calling it into play to create and change what is going on around that reality and that environment, such as now. The light worker's light is being activated more and more to help to shift the environment so that that aha moment comes through for more and more of the light humans.
Right.
It's all to do with the vibration and the calling of that frequency.
So, is there anything you would want to say to humanity right now, for anybody who would um, would possibly listen to this video if I put it out there?
We are our own creators. Everything we do is for the pure pleasure of experience, and knowing God is knowing ourselves. So have fun, bring joy, connect to nature, and know that everything is perfect.
All right. Well, thank you so much for all the information you have given us today.
Thank you. You're welcome.